Thank you for staying with us. When I was growing up, I heard a lot of leaders of tomorrow, the future leaders. Now we have what they call Future Africa Leaders Foundation, established as a Pan-African organization committed to identifying, nurturing, and empowering young African leaders, making positive impact in their communities. And over the past decade, the Future Africa Leaders Foundation has been a leader in youth development, equipping individuals with essential skills and resources to drive change. Well, we have three of them with us this morning. Joining us is our Ambassador Mariama Gendeme. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Right beside her, you have Ambassador Wissal Rida.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's say ladies first. And of course, Ambassador Azaria Tendayi also joins us this morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All right, so just a quick one. Perhaps an understanding of what this whole thing is about can be a start. So let me begin with you, Ambassador Mariama Gendeme. Give us a description of what the Future Africa Leaders Award is all about.
All right, thank you for having me today. First, I want to thank the President and Founder of the Future African Leaders Foundation, Reverend Dr. Chris Oyakhilome, for giving us such platform as African youth. And the Future African Leaders Foundation, it's a platform that recognizes the efforts of young Africans creating impact in the society, impacting the lives of others, taking the lead. Youth are not just sitting down, relaxing. It's a foundation that recognizes their actions in creating impact in where they live, and also making positive change and making good decisions. That saying that Africa is on the map and the continent is doing what it should do as a continent and creating positive change in the lives of their colleagues, youth, and even women and girls. Yeah.
Well, Ambassador Rida, perhaps you want to give us an understanding when we say young Africans making impact. Give us an understanding of what these impacts are.
Can you say the question again?
Say, okay, these are the ways in which these young Africans are making impact, like
yes.
What you have done, what she has done, what he has done, that gave you this privilege.
So, the projects that we are working on are different, but especially in the youth empowerment. For instance, my projects are focusing on youth empowerment with all its pillars, such as the inclusion of young or youth in politics, also the girls' education, and many other initiatives.
Well, Ambassador Zaria Tendayi, how has this Future Africa Leaders Awards contributed to the overall development of...
All right, thank you so much, sir. And to be honest, to begin with, I cannot even talk about the contributions of the Future Africa Leaders Foundation without talking about the contributions of our founder himself in our own personal lives, because here people see us ambassadors, but what I can say is we're just icons to the foundation. There's so much. We're just icons that represent what the foundation is made of, because we're products of the leadership that we've seen in our president, Reverend Dr. Chris Oyakhilome, DSC, DD. For example, over the past decade, the foundation has been giving out grants, and as we stand, over $1,490,000 has been awarded to 123 recipients, of which I myself am a beneficiary. But we've seen these grants make a whole lot of impact, especially in the communities where these young people are coming from. Because as we stand, the Future Africa Leaders Foundation actually stands as a body that houses innovation and creativity. How? The exposure that we get in the Future Africa Leaders Foundation is a kind of exposure that in the past, I'm now in tertiary education, I'm in university, but the kind of exposure that I've received from the Future Africa Leaders Foundation through the Future Africa Leaders Awards is an exposure I could have never gotten anywhere. How? Year in, year out, we receive delegates. For example, the former president, His Excellency Olusegun Obasanjo. This year we just received Her Excellency Dr. Joyce Banda. And we've received other delegates like Her Excellency Madam Sirleaf Johnson. And we get to interact with them. This is an opportunity that every young leader needs. Why? Because it does not only inspire us when we see them, but it gives us hope knowing that our role models, these are people we look up to, they've done a lot. And as young leaders, these are people we look up to. Now, knowing that they are monitoring us, they are seeing us, and they are supporting what we are doing, it actually gives us a lot of hope. And the Future Africa Leaders Foundation has come up with an initiative which we call FAF School of Learning Initiative. This is a school that focuses in raising young leaders. A platform that is not really there, but it's actually very needed in society. And currently, 77 million young people have been impacted through the projects that the foundation is doing. How? Through our ambassadors. We have a platform like Leadership Initiative Award. What it does is young people are encouraged to carry out different various projects. And as it stands, over 30 million projects have been carried out, which have impacted over 38 million families. I'm talking about families that have been impacted by these various projects. But what is it doing? Each year, for example, I myself, when I was watching the Future Africa Leaders Awards, I started watching them in 2014. I would watch them, but they were doing something to me. How? Because all of a sudden, I discovered that there is so much that I could do because of the exposure that I got. I say it again and again, young people in Africa are doing a lot. And most of them actually have the potential to do a lot. But they just haven't gotten that exposure that can let them know that I can actually do so much.
And this particular Future Africa Leaders Awards created that platform?
It has created that platform, sir.
Ambassador Gandeme, I was asking Ambassador Rita the other time, but may I ask you, how do you see yourself contributing to Africa's growth and development within the next 10 years?
I see myself, I can say 100% taking part. I can say 360 degree because with the explosion and platform and networking I've got from the foundation, I can do more than I thought I can. I'm a farmer. I'm 23-year-old farmer from Sierra Leone, and I'm the star prize winner for this year. I've been into women into agriculture, youth empowerment, girls' education, and advocacy for women and girls. With what I've received so far, the exposure, the platform, the networking, the people I've been able to interact with have positively changed the way I was thinking. I can say I'm not going back home the way I came. I've been able to interact with past presidents that have taught me how to become a good leader, how to impact Africa, how to become successful in all my projects I'm doing. So I see myself impacting positively, going back home. I want to establish a network with the presidential candidates in my country, the rights action, people in action that can work with, collaborate with, in creating the impact that I want. You know, as I'm a farmer, there is something we are lacking in Africa, which is modern agriculture. We are suffering because we don't have all what it takes, the resources that we need as farmers or Africans to become successful in agriculture. Going back, I want to work with my Ministry of Agriculture to know how we can collaborate in creating the kind of exposure, the kind of resources we need to have a sustainable agriculture. Going back home as well to have a mentorship program for girls, because there's a proverb that says, as a youth, if you don't know where you're going, others will take you where you're going. So if African youth have the mentorship they need to know where to go, how to go there, how to achieve all those things, they can be successful. So going back, I want to create the mentorship program for young Africans, young Sierra Leoneans, to have opportunity to be coached and mentored on how to be successful in life. I also want to bring the message of Fala all over Sierra Leone. As the first winner, it's a privilege for me because I want to take the message of Fala to Sierra Leone for you to believe that there is a platform out there that believes in what they want, what they are doing. There is a platform that gives them the kind of explosion, the kind of network and collaboration they need to do whatever they want to do, because we are capacitated, we have the power, we have the energy in us. We just need a little push for us to do what we want to do. So going back home, I'm going to tell them that there is Fala. Future Africa Leaders Foundation is there, so open your hands. Because for me, winning the award was not just for the grants. It's like a message of you are doing well. Remember, go to the world and impact more life.
Okay.
We see what we are doing. Okay. Thank you.
You're the star winner.
I'm the star winner.
So what is the difference between being a star winner and just being a winner?
All right. The process is too long. The starting is we have application all over the continent of Africa, the 54 countries, and we have thousands of applicants that came in. Out of those thousands of applicants, 30 top will be selected. We are selected 30 youth that are doing extremely well in their society. We are selected during the nomination, and after the 30 selection, the jury will now go in to look for the top 10 that are doing extremely, extremely well in the society. Their stories are touching, their stories are creating impact, their stories are creating the change that we need in Africa. If they are given the platform, they will do more. Out of the 10, out of the 30, the third one will be selected. And out of that top 10, the star prize will be chosen. The individual that is doing extremely well in our society. The individual
So in other words, this year you were the best.
Yes, I was the best.
As the star winner.
Let's see your star winner plaque.
Yes, that's like shocking.
Wow.
Yes.
Very, very Africa.
The map of Africa.
Okay, Ambassador Rida, what
Yes.
inspired you to enter FALA?
So the inspiration to enter the Future Africa Leadership Foundation was deeply rooted by the organization commitment to identify first and train young leaders with an inspiration with a passion of positive change. So the prospect of being a part of this community is aligned with my own aspirations, and also being a part of this community does not only serves as a validation of our work, but also as a catalyst for further commitment to the development of the future Africa. Also, by leveraging the skills, network, and knowledge acquired via the Future Africa Leadership Foundation, we are aiming to contribute positively to the whole continent, especially in the MENA and the North Africa region, since I am from Morocco. And yes, in a nutshell, that's all.
Well, you mentioned something the other time about politics. How does this help? Because most of Africa is going in the direction of using politics for development. So how do you think young people like yourself, like your colleagues here, can get into that space as future leaders of Africa and make impact that will give you a place at the table?
So actually in Morocco, I don't know if it's the case in all Africa, in all African countries, young are not really engaged in politics. So via those initiatives, we are trying to include them step by step and try to advocate or to try to give them more information about the process of politics, and so they can be part of this decision-making process.
Okay. Okay.
Which country are you from?
I'm from Malawi.
You are from Malawi, okay.
I'm from Nigeria.
So now that you've acquired this FALA knowledge and experience, what do you intend to do with it when you go back home? She's told us what she's going to do.
All right, thank you so much. What I really intend to do mainly is to mentor fellow young leaders. Like I said, the exposure that I've gotten is a privilege. Not many young people are getting that kind of exposure. So if we're going to do projects and help these young people, but we don't inspire them and we don't instill in them that same kind of drive that is at work in us, that means we are failing the future, because we need to give them that kind of mindset and mentality. Being a recipient of this award already gives me an advantage. Why? Because many young people are already looking at me. They have expectations. They are looking out. I'm a role model. They want to hear me. So I'll have to leverage on that platform that the foundation has given me and take advantage of it now to contribute positively to my fellow young people, to begin to empower them, to begin to drive that kind of mindset that is also in me. Why? Because after that is done, that means I've been able to replicate the leadership of the foundation even in these young people. That means Africa is going in the right direction. Africa is going. So that's one of the main things. And at the same time, I also plan on expanding my works. I'm a 2022 FALA recipient. So I also plan on expanding my works. I remember I was actually talking with a colleague earlier the past 2 days. I was like, I think if I had applied for FALA again this year, I wouldn't have won. Why? Because every year the competition keeps getting higher. Why? Because of that exposure that young people are going. They are challenged. They are challenged not to do what we did, but to do even more. So that kind of exposure, it's something that every young person needs. So that's the exposure that I'm going now, and I'm giving it to others, because that's the same exposure I've
Am I sitting to the future president of Malawi?
How are we to know?
You never know.
How are we to know? Okay, now let's wrap up with this one now.
Okay.
Maybe 1 minute each person.
Okay.
There are countless other. There's a number to it, but I can't have the number now. Something in the region of 60 to 70% of Africans are young people.
Yeah.
So if you are to speak to them to make impact in their space, given the knowledge that you have acquired, because maybe not everyone will have the FALA advantage or the Future Africa Leaders Foundation advantage. What would be your challenge then in 1 minute?
Okay, so first I would like to share the story of a lion and elephant today. In the desert, when the lion sees the elephant, he thinks about food. When the elephant sees the lion, he thinks about running. So it's about the mentality. The lion is not the biggest in the forest or in the desert. No, it's about the mentality, your belief system, what you believe. It's now time for us African youth to believe that we have the power within us. We should not wait for the old folks to tell us what to do, because that's what they are doing. They are making decisions about us and we are not even involved. Those decisions that will impact our lives, we are not even involved. So it's time for us to take the front lead in making decisions and taking actions. Let's not just wait and wait for solutions to come. Let's take the lead and doing things that are very positive in our situation. And let's take leadership as part of our life. We are leaders already. As long as you're an African, you're a leader. So believe in yourself and know that you have the power within yourself to create the impact you want. The Africa you want to see is with you. Starts with you, and you can do it by yourself.
Okay, so every young Sierra Leonean, you heard?
So I'm gonna complete my friend's ideas. So the future Africa starts by young, by us. So every impact we are doing, it counts. Either we are impacting 10 people or 100 people, this is also can count an impact. So do not hesitate, just go for it. Go do volunteering work. It's gonna do
volunteering work.
Exactly.
How easy is that? Every young person in Africa wants to make the first $1 million within 5 years.
Wow.
Yes or yes?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
So why should I go and volunteer when I can use that time to make money?
Actually, volunteering does not only serve, it's not just a money thing. It's also play as a pivotal role in personal development. So going only to school and reading books and passing exams is not really enough to gain this maturity and to develop our personality. So for sure we need that extracurricular activities, and I advise every youth to go and start doing those activities.
Okay. So every Moroccan, you heard? Speak to your constituents in 1 minute.
So what I would say is like what our grand patron and president founder always says, that Africa will only be built by Africans. If anybody is going to build Africa, the right person is you. And one thing you must understand is you are actually the right person to do it. So this is why we're there to give you the exposure. Check out the Future Africa Leaders Foundation. Why? Because this platform, I'm telling you, the kind of exposure that we've received, it has taken us a very long way. So every young person that's listening to me right now, your mentality, like what you heard from our 2023 Star Prize winner, should be that of a leader. You're not going to become a leader simply because you've grown up. Leadership starts now. There is something that you can actually do right there in your community. That is the first step. Look out for a need. Meet that need. You only discover that you're actually capable of doing more by taking the first step. Take that first step. Start right. Collaborate with others. Partner with people. Find out people who are doing what you would like to do. People who are doing what you admire. Find out how have they been doing it. How did they start about? Get to talk with them. Get that exposure. That's what will actually lift you up. Because you're not going to be a leader by just sitting and hoping and complaining. Things are not going well. Things are not going. No. What are you doing about it? Take the first step. Move. And be a leader that you're supposed to be, because you are actually a leader.
And not just fight on social media.
Yeah.
So,
Well, congratulations all of you winners.
Thank you so much.
And star winner, congratulations to you.
we have to thank you very much for being here this morning. Ambassador Wiesel Rida, thank you so much.
Thanks for you.
Should I say Vice President of Morocco?
Maybe, who knows?
Ambassador Azaria Tendai, thank you for... No, not you, hold on. Ambassador Mariama Gandema,
Thank you.
President of the Senate in
Yeah.
Leone. Thank you for being here.
Claims
Please, please, there are future leaders before you start carrying placard for me. And Ambassador Azaria Tendai, speaking like an aspiring president.
honestly.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for you.
Thank you so much.
So we're back in a moment to talk about what you need to get through 2024. Mental well-being. We'll be right back.